everyone, this is Lisa with Grace and Old Paper. It has been a while again. I looked back on my videos and was kind of shocked to realize it had been 4 months since I posted anything. I do apologize for that. But Christmas season, Thanksgiving, Christmas, all of that was such a busy, eventful time around here that I was finishing my Christmas crafts that I was giving for gifts, and then after that I was busy with family, and then since January, beginning of January hit, I've just been in quiet mode. I have been resting my brain and resting my body, and I've been in a crafting slump. I'm trying to get myself back into the crafting thing because I do enjoy it. It's just I've just been I don't know, uninspired. But I decided to try to do something to make use of all this material I have and the space I have and the time I have and do something creative. So I went through a list of things I have that I wanted to do. I have a list of journals a mile long that I would like to make, but some of the ones that kind of came to my mind quickest was making a cute Easter journal, with pastels and little bunnies and chicks and things like that. And I probably will do one day. I've also thought about doing one more religious. Also, one of these days, want to make a daisy journal with the pretty little daisy flowers and the yellows and whites and maybe black accents, stuff like that. What else? I have so many, so many miscellaneous pages that I have pulled out of various books or, had folded and prepared and ready for use in journals and then just didn't use them. So I have so many of those. I thought about making a whatever journal, just a mishmash of things. And I'll probably do that one day too. What else did I have the idea of? My daughter has a love of all things Japanese, and I have collected a whole bunch of stuff to make a Japanese journal for her. And I will do that one day. I'm just not in the mindset to do it yet, but I will. And that one will be really fun to work on. What else? Oh, I have a bunch of prayer journals that I worked on before Christmas and was planning on listing them on Etsy, but then I decided I didn't have enough pages in them. So now I'm going to, let me show you some. I'm going to take them apart and add pages to them. Well, I said that. What did I do with them? They're over here. So I've got this big project that I need to work on. I have picked out pages for them. I don't have them separated per journal, but this is like one of my prayer journals. And they're just simple little paper bag journals with all kinds of little papers in it. Some you can write on, some you can glue things on. I've made some for my daughter and son-in-law, and they just love them. And they use them from everything from sermon notes to life group notes to prayer, to their list of prayers that they want to do every day. They use it for a lot of things, and I thought maybe other people would enjoy that too. But I've got to add more pages because I just don't feel like it's good enough. So I want to add more. So that's going to take time to unsew them all and insert all the new pages that I want to put in. And that's a little more than my brain wants to handle at this moment. Because it's not as easy as it sounds. Another journal I thought about doing is I have this cute little Pooh book. And I love Winnie the Pooh. And I thought that would make a precious little journal. So I have a lot of Winnie the Pooh stuff saved. So, and look at the end papers in that. Isn't that gorgeous? So I want to do that too. But what I've decided on doing is another one of these. I had made this, didn't know what I wanted to do with it. There was a craft fair that was going to be going on in my neighborhood back in November, and I was going to try to make some stuff to be part of it, and I didn't have the mental capacity or the time to get it done before my influx of company I had coming in for Thanksgiving week, so I didn't. So I thought about making another one of these. They're just a fun little composition book journal, and this is the kind where I take it apart and I actually add in pages. You see, I've added in some of the books. This was from this book, one of these books. I had a couple of copies. Love the artwork in it. I've just never really had figured out what to do with it. So that's what I did. I covered it front and back. And like I said, I re-sewed it. You can see this is the center, and it's sewed double stitching with wax linen thread. So it's in there very, very well, and then covered it with duct tape. So it's, and glue. So it, it's very, very sturdy. And then I added on all kinds of little laces and, ruffles, ruffles, just to add fun to it. And then the pages are double thick so that there's sturdiness to them, and they're glued together, and then I edged them with washi tape so it's easy to flip through the book. The nice thing about these is the more you add to it, just the rounder this will become, and it will conform to it, which is really, really nice. So that's what I thought I'd do, is another one of these, just because it's so much fun. And I plan on starting to use this one for myself for kind of my household book, notes and lists and things like that. So this one's going to be mine, but in the meantime, I thought I'd go ahead and make another one. So what I start out doing when I do this, you have to get the kind that is sewed together. Most of them are, but every once in a while you run across some that aren't, and you got to have the sewed together kind. And what you do is you go in and you cut all the stitches apart. You can see there were a lot of stitches. And then once you get it out, you've got to sit here and pull out the threads. And it is not as easy as it sounds sometimes. And I have to kind of do it left-handed because I am still having issues with this joint right here. And so this motion and pulling is a bit painful. But I got most of this done last night. Those are coming out really easy. Some of these up in here really gave me fits. They just did not want to come loose. Now look, I said it was difficult, and this just came right out. Isn't that hilarious? So you remove all of that. I also removed, how many pages did I remove altogether? 18 pages. Because if you don't take out some of the pages, when you make your book and you add in others, it will be so thick, because you can see, even though I've sewn it in as tightly as I could, you can see how it is, it's not all the way in there. It won't go in as tight. And and the more you put in it, the more it's going to bulk up. And I mean, sure, it can get big if you want it to, and it probably will. But you do need to remove some pages. So I removed 18, because you need to remove an even number and to make it work right. Last time I did this, I remembered afterwards that I did the gluing before I removed the stitches. And I probably should have done that this time, but I'm going to make it work. I've seen lots of methods on YouTube for gluing these pages together. And a lot of people use a wet glue. Hang on a second, I get something to drink. The problem with the wet glue to me, and by wet glue, I mean some people use a Mod Podge. Some people use like a school glue. What do they call that stuff? It's a water-based glue. And if you do that, it makes the pages all wrinkled. And I personally don't like that. That's why if you notice, I took a lot of care. These are not wrinkled. They're very flat because the wrinkles bother me. I'm just that kind. So what I saw somebody doing on the internet, and you've got to be really careful to only get one page at a time, is you just simply go across and across here, up here, and then across. And then you fold this together, which now that I've got my book apart, it's not as easy. You smooth it out and you make sure it's good and flat. And that's that. And then I will go back later and I will add in the washi tape. So this is one of these things you can kind of do mindlessly. Like I said, make sure you haven't, added in an extra page somewhere. But you can do this kind of mindlessly when you're, watching TV, videos, or whatever you want to do. You can be sitting chatting at somebody. I've done it with people here. It's just a really simple part of the project, really. Just going to do a few to get an idea here. Yeah, I don't know about y'all, but Christmas season to me, because I love when my family comes over. I love having family around. And so, I hope I did that on the last one. See, I'm sitting here talking and I don't remember if I did that. Anyway, I love having family, and I drive myself nuts getting things done around the house before everybody comes, because I like to have everything done before they get here so that I'm not stressed about anything when they're here. So I stress myself out before. But that's okay. That's okay. And I am also one that goes gung-ho with Christmas decorations. And my grandchildren love that. They expect it. So I have a antique piano in my dining room, and it's one of the tall ones that gosh, I don't know if y'all remember Joanna Gaines, the show she had. There was an episode she had found an antique piano. It's a green one, and she had it refurbished and had it put in her own home. I have that exact piano. Same green and everything. And I have left mine green. I have left it alone. And that was just so fascinating to me. When I saw that on her TV show, I was really excited about it. But anyway, what I do every year, I have a collection of Santas. Santa is my favorite. I love my Santas. And so every year I have a collection of Santas from large to small that go on top of my piano, and all the children know it, the grandchildren know it, and so that they're waiting for that. And across the top of my entertainment center, I have a collection of angels. My china cabinet gets redone. There's just stuff everywhere. I replaced some artwork on my wall. Every room gets a little touch of Christmas somewhere, and I enjoy it. That's what I love. My grandkids, like I said, they've come to enjoy it and love it too. I have glue on my table. So it takes a lot of work to get it put out, though. Now, since my most all my family was here at Christmas, my grandchildren were really excited about helping me put out Christmas. Now, the oldest one is in 3rd grade. Middle one's in 1st, and then I have a little 2.5-year-old. So they're not, they're help, but they're limited. So, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Trying really hard to make sure I don't add in extra pages somewhere. I have done that before. So anyway, I wear myself out at Christmas, but I absolutely love it. It's my favorite time of year. I love when my house is decorated for Christmas, and every year when I pull everything down, it's always so disappointing to me because my house just doesn't feel as cozy and pretty anymore. So anyway, January is a little bit of a downer, I guess. But I'm trying to get back in the swing of things. Sorry, I've got a croakiness going on today. So anyway, I think you get the idea of what we're doing here. So I'm going to pause on this. Then what I do is I figure out what I want to cover, the front and the back, as well as the insides. And then I like to add in pages. Matter of fact, I've got some more of those pages I can add in. Let me see here. This is just one of my drawers of collection of pages. I have a lot more pages, but I have some of these prepared. But I also want to do these. Now I've got to figure out which one I may do the same exact cover because I like the way the story started. Right there, Once Upon a Time. I like that. Also, not every page in this book is appropriate for a cover, I don't think. I took it apart last night and I where the Once Upon a Time page is. It's got beautiful artwork. I know there's a Once Upon a Time in here somewhere. Oh well, there's the front, so let's see. See, I absolutely love that, but I don't like that it had that. Now, I could cover that up, and that is a possibility. But there's that. So it will either be one of those. Now, one difference I'm going to have with this one as opposed to this one. This book was made from a hardcover version of this, which was slightly larger. So you can see this has this edge of this detail around it, and I'll have to figure out how I want to deal with that. Most of it will be used. So one of those will be my cover. What did I use on the back? Just because I thought she was pretty. I thought that was pretty. Also, I want to have some pages that are double spread, so that I can insert them into the book. So that one is, cannot use this one as a double spread because it was the cover art or the first page, so I can't use that. I'm just getting my double spread pages here so that I can pick some. That's a single. Okay. All right, so these are the double spreads that I have. Let me pick out some colors. I have some papers. Okay. See, that's kind of pretty. Very blue. That is purple. Had a couple of these for some reason. I had put these together for something, and I don't know what. All right, so that's all of those. Now, don't get me wrong, I have plenty of scrapbook paper, and I'm talking about plenty. So I can always use some of that, but for information purposes, we will go with this for right now. I think I only put in, let me look at my last one here. So I got to have the cover and the back. And then as for book pages, you see what I did here. So I have a scrapbook paper, and then I did 1, 2, 3, 4 of those, and then a book page. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a book page. 1, 2, 3, 4 again, and a book page. Maybe what I did all the way through. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, and a book page. And then this one is the center. I like having something like that in the center because that's just really pretty to me. You can see because this was a bigger book, I had to chop off, if you can see, chop off at the top. I had to be really careful about where I wanted the artwork. Sometimes it depended on the other side of the page, what was going on. I guess sometimes I just didn't pay attention too much at all anyway. But it gets you the idea. So really, I guess it's just 4 sets of regular pages and then a book page. So, oh gosh, I was supposed to have been counting. I didn't. So that is 1, 2, 3. So 4 book pages altogether. Now, could I add in more? Yes, I could. But I may not. So let's just say 1, 2, 3, 4. I thought I had 5 here. Okay, whatever. So I have those, and then I had, well, shoot, I really was not paying attention. Is that the only scrapbook paper I had? One, I think it was. The front and back. You can add in more of that as well, but I wanted more journaling room, blank space, you know, to use. But you can add in other funky pages as well. But I'm just going to kind of go off of that and make the kind of same thing. So let's say I decided on, this one. Yeah, I like that. So basically you would just you would just add in your pages, so on and so forth. And then once you get it all together the way you want it, which this is not, keep that in mind, then you will do your stitches and sewing it. So I think, do I like that? That's not bad, is it? I kind of like that. And I might as well make use of what I've got here. That's what I'm thinking. Like I said, I have plenty more paper. That's too bright. I think I like that. I could always turn it the other way as well. Yeah. So now I just need to make some decisions. I also need to trim these pages to be the same as these. I won't have to take a whole lot off. Let's see if this is one I want to use. Yeah. So I won't have to take tons off. Matter of fact, it may be right at this line right here. You know what? Let's try it and see. How about that? I'm going to take it right at that line. We'll see how that works. Well, it's actually shorter. How was I not paying attention to that? It'll still work if I want to use that page. What? Let's try this right here. I mean, nobody says they have to be the exact same size. So, oh, it only needs one of those cut off. No, I don't like that. All right, let's try like half of it. How about that? I'm being so exact here. You know, I could measure, but what's the fun in that? What is the fun in that? That's the thing about these books, are kind of supposed to be more freeform and fun in my book. They're not exact, precise, little fancy books. And remember, it's always better to cut too little and have to cut more than what I did the first time. Like that. Do you see that little bit of an edge there? Just a little. So it needs a hair taken off. Me and this cutter have been through rounds. It took me a while to figure out where to cut, because you would think it would be this line right here. You can see that. My shadows are terrible today. You'd think it would be that line right there, but it's not. Weirdly. Yes, it is. No, it was this line I was thinking it should be. I always thought it should be this line with this groove, but no. So anyway, there's that issue. Let's see if this works now. Yep, there we go. And then as for the edge, I have two options. One is I could always take a little off here and rejoin the pages in order to keep this edge. So I wanted to keep that whole edge. Or I could cut it off and just let it be what it is. I could do that. I could cut it off in the middle of it, or I could cut it off there and just have the page be shorter. I don't really want to have to join it. I will think on that one. I'm going to have to think on that. Let's see what it would be if I... Yeah, it would take off. Let me get my ruler out here and show you. It would take off to right there, which is fine on this page. Little mousy head would still be there. it would take off to here, which it gets most of that one. It would be a little weird right here, but it's okay. Would cut that one like that. Not terrible. Not the best, but not terrible. We'd have a headless mousey over here. So this is the decisions I gotta make on how I want to do that. Also, that's what I used on the cover on the other one. I'll have to decide on that too. Okay, well, I've got some decisions to make, but you can see what I'm working on, and I just wanted to come in and tell you where I've been too, since it's been a while. I really only thought about making a video because I was texting with a lady I met down at the local church down here close to me, and she's a real sweet lady, and she's been trying to communicate with me a little. I guess God is leading her to drag me out of my little cave I live in. Very sweet lady though. So Miss Becky, if you're watching, hi. Anyway, I just wanted to check in with y'all, give you a little bit of an update, and once I get some of my ducks in a row on this, I'll get back on here and do another little video, and we'll see how it goes, see if we can craft some together. All right, so anyway, for today, may God bless you and keep you safe.